It was the defendant. Sasha Buckler. Wait, no one, it was Marlon. So that is the orca that stands accused, is it? Oh, look it. She's waving her flipper at us. Maybe she's cheering us on? Oh god. Well, I wish Phoenix and Athena luck. Oh, one fish. Yeah, I'm going with Marlon. Not Sasha. So your argument is that Miss Buckler is the one who gave the orca the drug. The prosecution's argument hasn't changed. Buckler made the victim fall to his death and then manipulated the orca to pin it on her. Still not satisfied, she further planned to kill the orca with the sleeping drug. I didn't hear any reports of Dr. Crab feeding Orla. Maybe he didn't have a hand in Orla's attempted murder after all. But is there anybody else who could have fed Orla besides Sasha? If it's true the defendant is the one who fed the sleeping drug to the orca, then that places even more suspicion on her than ever. The defense objects to the prosecution's claims. Well, you still haven't admitted defeat. Prosecutor Blackwell, I don't appreciate the way you only mention the parts that are convenient for you. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? The prosecutor failed to mention that Miss Buckler wasn't the only one who fed Orla. As you will all recall, there was another person who gave Orla food. Oh, you mean that person? Looks like Athena remembers now too. Congrats, Sasha. Here we go. This is to celebrate. Eat it all up. Yeah, a fuck ton of fish. Oh, Mr. Wright. No. I don't want to believe it, either, but we can't ignore the truth. I mean, this guy's looked suspicious from the very beginning. The other person who fed Orla during the trial was... this creepy-looking mofo. He's only 21? Holy crap. Please recall when Orla was found not guilty yesterday. Marlon Rhymes gave the orca a large quantity of food. If the sleeping drug was mixed in with that food, it could be given to the orca without arousing police suspicion. Jeez. Now that you mention it, I do remember that flip-flopper feeding the orca. Oh god. So you remembered, did you? I see the time for a true sword fight has come. I call Marlon Rhymes to the stand. Mr. Lawyer? Both Miss Orca Lover and Marlon Rhymes are important members of our crew. I don't want to suspect either of them, but I'm ready to accept whatever truth you find. Here, take this. That charm. It's the charm that matches the one Azura Summers had, isn't it? So you and Miss Summers were romantically involved, weren't you, Dr. Crab? No. What? No, of course not. Sorry to disappoint you, but this doesn't belong to me. At the time I thought it was Azura's, so I grabbed it. But it wasn't hers. Now it's up to you, Mr. Lawyer, to figure out whose charm it is. I will. Thank you, Dr. Crab. After all, I'm interested in the outcome of this trial too. Now then, please summon Marlon Rhymes to the witness stand. I don't really know what's happened with my Android performance. I think it's ever since I updated BlueStacks. It's not like it's bad performance, it just seems like it jumps every now and again with certain frames. But it's not like it's, like, I don't know. The performance isn't super crappy. Not that you can really tell with a game like this anyway. Oh, I can't check it? That's bull. What's going on? What's everybody making that face for? I haven't been watching the trial and nobody's told me anything. Marlon Rhymes, you are under suspicion for the attempted murder of the orca. I see. Well, if it's already out... Mr. Rhymes? Is he really going to admit it? Fine. I'll tell the truth. Oh. See, he just looks suspicious. Look at him. The truth. Sasha is lying to protect the Orca. At 3:30 AM on the 20th, there was still water in the Orca pool. The incident happened before the Orca was moved to the show pool. Ola killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam down on the water. So I thought the Orca should pay the consequences. Okay. Okay. So... now we're back to the Orca again? I did not see that testimony coming. Oh wait, just 1 minute. Yesterday, Ola was proven innocent. Besides, you said Ola was in the show pool during the cleaning. I lied. I didn't want to sell Sasha out. That's why I didn't tell the truth. Of course. But the fact is, all three of us, Sasha, the captain, and me, were cleaning the pool room. But Dr. Crab and Miss Buckler both said you were at the show stage. Well, the only thing Dr. Crab knew about the cleaning was what I told him. I didn't give him a whole lot of details either. Maybe he misunderstood. And Sasha is lying to protect the Orca. She can't tell the truth. Sasha put blood on the skull rock herself to make a fake blood stain. I think it's pretty brave of her to let herself get arrested to protect the Orca. Mr. Rhymes, how can you lie like that? It's the truth. Besides, wouldn't it be better for you if I wasn't lying? If the Orca did it, you win your case. But our case is the Orca and Sasha. What? This is all very hard to believe. But if Mr. Rhymes' story is true, Miss Buckler would be innocent and the Orca would be the killer. God fuck's sake. Meaning if we turned our backs on Ola, we could save Sasha. Having a witness lie to save your own client. What a dirty underhanded tactic, right, Dono? Wait, what?
Objection!
Ho ho ho! Don't hold me accountable. Yesterday the defense proved Ola was not guilty. We have no intention of going back on our assertions now. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? All you gotta do is admit the Orca did it, and Sasha goes free. Isn't a lawyer supposed to act in his client's best interest? Nope, I only care about the truth. But that wouldn't be acting in her interest. Miss Buckler believes Ola is innocent. And we, of course, believe that Miss Buckler herself is innocent too. Acting in the client's best interest is an important part of our job as lawyers. Using dirty means to win a verdict would destroy our client's faith in us. That's right. There we go, Widget's got a face again, at least. We believe in both Miss Buckler and Ola's innocence. Huh? I just don't understand how you can treat a human and an Orca equally. Sasha or the Orca, you can only save one of them. I don't know about that. I think I can save them both. All I have to do is disprove your testimony. Oh yeah? Then go ahead and try. I will do just that. If I can't tear down his testimony, I won't be able to save both of them. I have to find a weak spot and start tearing. Yeah, rip at him! Cross-examination! Begin. I just want to say, where's the music? Sasha's lying to protect the Orca? How do you know? Tell me. What exactly do you claim Miss Buckler is lying about? Sasha put that bloodstain on the skull rock and stuff herself as false evidence. She left fake traces to try and save the Orca. Whoops, I just scrolled. Whatever, it worked. Witness, if you keep talking nonsense, I will seal your mouth shut. The defense supports the prosecution's idea. But Mr. Wright, my testimony helps your client. You ought to be happy. I want to save both Ola and Miss Buckler. I won't accept anything less. Now that that's understood, please continue with your testimony. Maybe it's actually just... it's not an issue with the emulator, or it's not an issue with BlueStacks, it's just an issue with the game, maybe? I don't know. Fine. Because now that I'm looking, like, more closely, it seems fine with certain things. The only thing that slightly... or seems to have the most issues is when it does the camera pan. Basically near the crowd. Because it usually... it doesn't skip, but it, like... I don't know, it's hard to explain what the hell happens. Whatever. I shouldn't be having issues with BlueStacks, though. I've got it cranked up to the max settings. Meaning, using all my cores and a quarter of my RAM, so it should be fine. When the victim was killed, how much water was in the pool? Plus, this isn't a demanding game, so you know. It was before the pool was drained for cleaning, so it was full. You went into the Orca pool room and saw this for yourself. I mean, you notice it with the text, because some of it just, like, appears, as opposed to most of it just, like, coming on periodically. Dr. Crab said that you were at the show stage. But it's possible that Dr. Crab was misinformed, or that he misunderstood. The witness already explained this. Why are you taking this meaningless tack? If you want to play games, Taka here would be more than happy to play with you. We'd better be careful how we press the witness. Taka is watching us like a hawk. Witness, continue. I want to keep badgering him. Why not? So the incident happened before the Orca was moved to the show pool. So you're saying the incident took place before the cleaning began? Yeah, I guess so. The captain, Sasha and I were going to do the cleaning together. It's much more efficient than trying to have just one person do it alone. In the defence's case, however, more lawyers means simply more lawyers, nothing more. What? You want to talk? All you have on your side is a cantankerous bird. What about me? I'm up here all alone. You people done. You need the witness to keep you focused? For shame, right, Dono? Hey, I was the only one who kept my mouth shut. Anyway, the incident happened in the Orca pool before the cleaning got started. She killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high. Wait, is that even possible? No, because the captain fell 65 feet. Wait, was there anything? Shipley's dead. Oh, there we go. There we go. Contusion from thought to be from 65 foot fall into pool. Ceiling to pool bottom is 100 foot. Oh, there you go. So he literally couldn't have done that. Yeah, because it would have to have been... She'd have had to spike to the captain from 65 feet in the air. There we go. Objection! Why are you lying? Oh, there we go. When lies are piled on top of each other, contradictions start to emerge. This time is no different. Are you saying there's some kind of inconsistency in my testimony? Indeed. That's exactly what I'm saying. You claimed that the victim wasn't flying about 30 feet into the air. Wait, the pool's 65 feet. But the autopsy report states that the cause of death was thought to be from a 65-foot fall. My name on Xbox is the same as my name on... well, everything. My username on YouTube is my username on Xbox. What? Additionally, in your testimony a moment ago, you said at 3:30 AM on the 20th, there was still water in the Orca pool. The pool is about 65 feet deep, and there's about 30 feet between the water and the ceiling. If the pool was full of water as you claimed, it would be impossible for the victim to fall about 65 feet, as the autopsy states. Oh! Caught out. Yeah, it's usually doing this camera angle. There you go. It just like jumps, but I don't really know why. Mr. Rhymes claimed he was in the Orca pool room, so he could make these statements. But the truth must be... He was at the show stage, just as Dr. Crab and Sasha testified. I believe that brings us back around to the Orca didn't do it. I didn't believe the witness's testimony from the outset. I am grateful to you, right, Dono, for shutting the witness up. As I thought, the only person who could have killed the victim is Sasha Buckler. That fact still remains, whether the witness was the one who tried to kill the Orca or not. Son of a gun. Mr. Rhymes was right about one thing. His testimony was advantageous to our case. But pointing out the contradiction in his statement will only drive us into a corner. As Prosecutor Blackwell said, suspicion against Miss Buckler is now deepened. Great. Uh-oh. I don't do something fast, the judge is gonna find Sasha guilty. Oh, I thought I clicked. Mr. Wright, isn't there anything we can do? There has to be a way to prove Sasha is innocent. At a time like this, the thing to do is turn my thinking around. Yeah, of course. Instead of trying to prove that Sasha couldn't have done it, I have to think about what made it possible for somebody else to have done it. So, as long as the crime scene is the Orca pool room, then Sasha is the only one who could have committed the crime. What if it was the show pool room? No need for pity, your baldness. Just finish him off with a swift verdict. It appears the defense has no objections. Very well, I will give my verdict. I'm gonna say, do not be so quick, Your Honor. Please hold off on that verdict. But you were so quiet, Mr. Wright. Do you have something to say now? Oh, you bet your ass I do. The defense has a counter-argument. You do? Pitiful. Such desperation. You look pale. Are you sure you're prepared to make this counter-argument? The lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. I'll never forget those words no matter how many years go by. Even though it's probably just a bluff, I'll give it to them with a smile. Hey! What if the scene of the crime was somewhere else? The scene of the crime? Somewhere else? What? You're finding fault with the police investigation now? As I understand it, the prosecution's argument is as follows. The scene of the crime was the Orca pool room. Only the defendant and victim entered that room when there was no water in the pool. Therefore, only the defendant could have committed the crime. That is correct. But if the scene of the crime was not the Orca pool room, then somebody other than the defendant could have committed the crime. Are you sure you know where you're going with this? Nope. I might not be too sure, but I can't back down now. Mr. Wright, I hope that I'm wrong, but this isn't one of your bluffs by any chance. Ha ha ha, of course not. The judge knows me far too well. And do you have a theory on where the actual scene of the crime was? Yes, of course. Think, Phoenix, think. Think of a place, other than the Orca pool room, where one could fall to one's death. Well, funnily enough, there are two pools that are about 65 feet deep. Then by all means, please, share your theory with the court. You got it, your baldness. Where was the real scene of the murder? Oh, well luckily it put it right there for me. Ding ding! What? Can I not just click? Present. Poof. Nope. Fine. Whatever. The show stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well. And if so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there as the Orca pool. Right, Dono. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. I sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do. I will, as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the Orca pool. How do you explain that? Give me a chance to explain, I'll tell you. How about if, after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the Orca pool? How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You had better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved. There's no turning back now. I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. Alright, nice. Will admit, I don't play multiplayer stuff or anything. But it's fine. I appreciate you adding me. Was there something at the scene that could have been used to move the body? Yes, the crane. Oh, now I can probably just click. Nope. Alright, whatever. Crane! The hoist runs between the Orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Orla or the Skull Rock. The stretcher could also have been used to move the dead body. Yes, if the stretcher can move the Orca or the Skull Rock, it seems likely it could also move a dead body as well. Wow, Somehow that worked. I just might be able to pull this off. Just maybe. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it. No, of course. You desperately spew conjecture, and now you even make up a crime scene. And there go the chains. Shite. Not again. You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. What do you mean half-baked? The hoist can be operated from the Orca pool room only. Yeah. Crap. And the only person who entered the Orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself. My hair! Okay, at least I didn't cut my hair. Phew! My beautiful hair! Order, so it comes back to the defendant no matter which pool it was. Meaning, I can't clear Sasha either way. Sasha said she moved all around the Skull Rock. And I believe her. So could it be possible that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? Is that right? Do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackwell's claim? Do I have an objection to the claim that the defendant moved the body? No. Could the body have been inside the rock? I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What? Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder? No. I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that that is what she was doing. The culprit made her move it unbeknownst to her. The defendant moved a dead body without recognizing that it was a dead body? How could that be possible? Stuffing it inside something? The body was found in the Orca pool. It must have been moved there somehow. I might find some kind of hint in the thing she moved with the stretcher. The rock. Oh my god, how obvious do they make it? The culprit made Miss Buckler move the body along with this piece of evidence. The Skull Rock. Miss Buckler told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved to the Orca pool are Orla and the Skull Rock. I would like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the Skull Rock. What? Hidden inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the Orca pool with the hoist. At the show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded up the Skull Rock with the body inside. And then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the Orca pool room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside. Do you really think there's enough space inside the Skull Rock to place a body? The swashbuckler flyer indicates it could be possible. Cap Noller has a new rival, Red Stash. How can they get the coins inside of the Skull Rock? Please focus on the question at the bottom left. Who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock? Oh, it says who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock. Sheesh. In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow. What's more, if the body was inside the Skull Rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions. Such as... Please take a look at the security footage of the scene Mr. Plume witnessed. Yeah, how the body just emerged from the water. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall. What was Orla doing to the Skull Rock at this time? She was headbutting it. Oh. That's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the Skull Rock. The body had been placed inside the Skull Rock and moved there from the show stage. I assert that the real murder scene was, in fact, the show stage pool. What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence. It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the Skull Rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fibers, hair... Right, Dono? Oh yeah! I'm one hell of an adversary. Mr. Wright, that was incredible. You turned things around completely around. And to think, it all started with that half-baked bluff too. Phew, that was a close one. Did you really have to add that last bit? If the murder took place at the show stage, then who is the perpetrator? It is, naturally, the person who was at the show stage. Da-da! Mr. Rhymes? Weren't you the one who loaded the skull rock onto the stretcher at the show stage? Wow, Mr. Wright. That was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. I tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite me. Are you confessing you gave false testimony before, Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury. Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the skull rock. And it's true the captain was killed in the show pool too. What? He's admitting it that easily? This time, I'm going to tell you the whole truth about what happened that day. Hey, Ultimate Skyhawk. It's going pretty good, thanks. How about yourself? The whole truth. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. Wait, why did he mention spectators? That sucks. I hope you feel better soon. When Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body, I freaked. Spectators? Spectators? That makes it sound like an audience. Unless he means like a spectator as in like himself and Sasha. But that's hardly spectators. What a weird word to use. So now we're back to the orca again, I see. If you're going to give testimony like that, why did I bother putting you on the stand? All I'm doing is telling the truth. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of the swashbuckler spectacular. So I suggested she hide the body in the skull rock and move it to the orca pool. I was going to figure... Oh, pardon me. Pardon me. I was going to figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. The orca is the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me and it wasn't Sasha. You really just want to pin it on the orca. So it was Mr. Rhymes' idea to hide the body in the skull rock. But if Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he protect Sasha? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion, so why? Mr. Wright, how about if you leave this to me? Athena, you mean you heard something? Yep. Noise. Discord in Mr. Rhymes' heart. So that means somewhere in his testimony there's an inconsistency in his emotions. Alright then, alright Athena, give him a good counselling session. You got it, boss. Oh yeah! Let's do it. Woohoo! Huh? What's this? What are you getting, Athena? This testimony is pretty complex. Feelings of deep sadness and intense anger are being called up. Those two emotions appear to be running out of control. Out of control emotions? Is that going to be a problem? I have played Halo 5, yeah. A while ago. A long time ago, actually. Now we'll have to probe that cause if we want to get to his true emotions and testimony. There might even be odd or unnatural spots of it in his testimony he isn't even aware of. Well, like the spectators. Alright, let's probe the cause of his out-of-control emotions then. I'll explain how to probe. Let's find the root cause together. When you see something off in a statement, tap the probe button. Next, point to what is causing Mr. Wright's out-of-control emotions. Finally, tap the probe button to complete the process. When emotions are out of control, memories can be recalled incorrectly. Still haven't found anything. After all the statements and images, I'll help. Great, alright. I'll get started comparing the statement with the images. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Intense anger and intense sadness. Holy crap. So they're like at max. So in the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectator screams. There we go. That's all the thing that I don't understand. Why are there spectators? Yeah, why is there an audience? As soon as he mentioned spectators, I was like, that's an odd thing to say. I doubt there were any spectators there at the show stage when the owner died. If there had been, those witnesses would have told us the true crime scene right away. What? Oh, right. Of course. I just made a mistake. Oh, that was easy. Jesus. Okay, that made the sadness subside. So maybe the spectator's part was what was making him sad. I wonder why he would make that mistake saying spectators were there. How strange. The only thing I can think of is that he was mixing up one memory with another. Rifle the Penguin was the murderer. Like, he was in a similar situation before, and it was deeply imprinted on his heart. A situation where an orca killed somebody, and there were spectators there. Hey, I think I know why he's mixing up his memories. The reason why Mr. Rhymes mixed up his memories is... Oh. Wait. It's the book. The Killer Killer Whale. Mr. Rhymes, I think I know what happened. Could you have been mixing up what happened a year ago with this incident? Maybe that's why you slipped and said the owner was killed in front of spectators. What? How did you... You're right. I did see the orca kill somebody a year ago. But what about it? I was just one of the spectators. Really? Just another spectator? There must be a reason why you feel great sadness about that incident last year.
Silence.
Stop this nonsensical scrutiny of feelings. Just present evidence to prove your point. Okay, I probably won't be on my Xbox for a while. Because my only plan for today is to finish this case, and then do another session of Steins Gate, because I want to finish another ending on that. But boss, do we have any kind of evidence that would back us up here? There is one piece that comes to mind that might explain his sadness. Well, I'm waiting. Let's see this evidence that has to do with Marlon Ryan's sadness. The charm! Azora Summers died an accidental death 1 year ago. This is her boyfriend's charm. Hey, what are you doing with that charm? It was found in Rifle's stomach yesterday. Judging by your reaction, I believe this charm belongs to you? I guess I need to push him just a little harder to make him admit it. When Mr. Rhymes said the word charm, he was very rattled. We'd better examine this charm a little more.